Hi, this is Riddick Big Daddy Bo, two-time former world heavyweight champion, and you're watching Cool True Sports.
True School Sports.
True School
There
Sports.
you go, champ. Thank you. Just shameless plug. Go down the comment section, all right? You'll see it, and go to the official True School Sports merch store to get yourself a hoodie like this or a tank top like this. It's great stuff. If you get one of these True School Sports shirts, I guarantee you, your success with women will quadruple, guaranteed.
Oh, right that left. Jesus.
We'll talk about Vasily Lomachenko.
All right, so we're gonna hit mute. What a devastating knockout from Mean Machine against Kavaliauskas.
And he wants to fight a rematch too.
I mean, this is a guy. I mean, I don't know if y'all caught the audio, but he said he want to fight Terence Crawford. He said he want that rematch. He said these guys got no balls. I don't see nobody who did better against him than I did. I don't, So hey, I respect them because a lot of these PBC guys don't want to fight Terence Crawford. They're having to go dig up Kell Brook, who many people think is washed up, and overpay him to fight. And I wouldn't mind. Listen, maybe not next, because I think Crawford Kell Brook is probably gonna get done. It's damn near a done deal.
Yeah.
But
following,
I'm saying if you get Kavaliauskas another fight, who knows, man? Maybe early 2021. My man Jesus M says Eggers versus Kavaliauskas.
Oh my God, Ugas against Kavaliauskas.
Yeah, Kavaliauskas versus Crawford in December. He wants to see it again.
Well, he said Ugas against Kavaliauskas.
Not Ugas. I mean Crawford versus Kavaliauskas.
I like to see it again because I can run that.
Because a lot of people are like look. Even though Kell Brook is a big name, he was former IBF world champion. He was number one welterweight at one point in time. The reality is he's not like people don't see him as that guy anymore. So no matter how you spin it, they're not gonna see him as that guy. As to Kavaliauskas, he's young. He's not much younger in terms of age, but in terms of the punishment his body's taking, he is younger than Kell Brook.
All right.
And he had that fight against Terence Crawford, where a lot of people thought he dropped Crawford. It was one of the toughest punches, toughest fights Terence Crawford had to date.
So let me ask you this quick. I don't want to cut you off, but if you had a choice between A and B right now, if you're the promoter,
if I was the promoter,
Kell Brook
from a promotional standpoint, I think it'll make more sense to fight Kell Brook because when you fight Kell Brook, he's a big name in the UK. That fight will be pay-per-view in the UK. You're getting UK TV money involved in the fight. So money-wise, it makes more sense. But if we're talking about from a boxing standpoint, I think the Kavaliauskas fight makes more sense because he fought a guy tonight who,
oh wow, he had him.
In Zuski, Zuski came to win. This is a guy who was 34-1. This is a guy that had good solid amateur pedigree. The guy had a lot to fight for, and he did. And I want to see him again in the future, against the name welterweights, because I think he did enough, even in defeat, to earn that spot. Mm-hmm. But we saw Kavaliauskas now. We saw the patience. We saw him take the opportunity when it presented itself, and I think his experience played a big role in the later on to this fight. And what a knockout it was! He threw a laser guided missile over right hand that ended the fight. Jeez. So as far as I'm concerned. I know Earl Spence ain't gonna fight him because he missed a businessman. He don't want to fight him. Keith Thurman's pricing himself out. Manny Pacquiao's too busy for boxing right now. He probably somewhere in the Philippines putting somebody to death. Ugas, who gives a damn? Ennis is in a lawsuit. There's not many more fights out there, in my humble opinion, that make as much sense for Terence Crawford than Kavaliauskas.
Because he did turn out the Sean Porter fight too, right?
Yeah.
So that was kind of crazy in itself.
Chevy Chase says Zuski ain't nobody. Eggers improved, but not top 10. How is he not top 10? He's at least 10. You gonna tell me? Hold on, let me go up because I saw a comment. Where is it? You gonna tell me Alexander Vesputin and Abdul Kakarov and Lipinets and all these guys are better than Mean Machine? Fucking no, we ain't doing that, champ. We are not doing that. We are not doing that. Sergey Lipinets, no. Abdul Kakarov, definitely not. Alexander Vesputin, I'm not trying to hear it. Mean Machine is definitely a top 10 welterweight. He's at least the 10th best welterweight at bare minimum. I do agree that he does need to fight more. I think he does probably need more. So I would like to see him get more quality wins. But based on the account, I know he lost to Crawford, but you got to look at these things contextually. He looked very good against Crawford, better than anybody we've ever seen. And he fought a prime Terence Crawford, okay? And then he fought this kid tonight, and he's showing his level. If he wasn't as good as being top 10, he would have found a way to lose that fight. I mean, look, Bespuin failed a drug test, and I never really thought Bespuin was all that anyway. Hold on, click the picture. It's Adeline Bird.
Yeah, fuck that little bitch.
But yeah, I think Mean Machine. If look, I love Kell Brook. I love Terence Crawford. I'll be honest with you guys. The boxing fan of me does not want to see. The boxing fan of me does not want to see Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook, because if they fight each other, it's two of my favorite welterweights fighting each other. And if Kell Brook loses that fight, then I'm gonna be upset because they're gonna say Kell Brook is trash. So look, they shouldn't have made this fight. But then if Kell Brook somehow wins, then they're gonna say, well, look, Crawford lost to Kell Brook. He's trash, and Errol Spence don't need to fight him. He's the East side. So that's a big reason why I don't want to see the fight. If he fights Mean Machine, I see it as a legitimate welterweight champion in Terence Crawford taking on one of the most legit welterweight contenders in Mean Machine, who is dying for the fight. Unlike a lot of these guys that are running away from the fight, he's running to the fight. So I got the utmost respect for the fighting pride of Lithuania. He's doing great, flying the flag high for Lithuania, and I say give it to him.
And that's what BT was telling me before we were talking about this stuff. PBC won't put out his true players to go ahead and get in the ring with Crawford. Crawford's got to take. I'll be honest with you, Crawford got to stay sharp in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can't just sit back and just continue to wait because time is going by. Yes, you can do all the work you want in the ring, but if you're not keeping yourself sharp with an opponent in front of you, and I ain't talking about sparring, an actual opponent in the ring, it's going to hurt you in the end. I think if this is why I tell BT, I respect fighters that come out and fight Crawford, because I don't care who you are from the PBC side or whatever side you're from. If you really want to manage your legacy and fight somebody, fight Crawford so you can get. If you beat Crawford, you get those big fights. You get what you want to get, and nobody's doing that. But when you got this guy that wants to redeem himself, the Mean Machine wants to redeem himself with Crawford, you gotta I like that. When you got Special K, who had a serious injury against GG, and is rebounded and he's healthy and he looks good and he doesn't matter. He grabs his balls and he says, okay, you know what? Yes, I'm fucked up in my eye, but you know what? If I still get fucked up, I still fought one of the best, and I can walk up with my head high. That's it. Anybody from the PBC side, I can't respect.
Here's what I want to do. That all right. I'm gonna name you some welterweights.
Okay. And
you just tell me if you think Mean Machine will beat them. Okay.
Yep.
Errol Spence.
No.
Manny Pacquiao.
No.
Terence Crawford in the rematch.
No.
No. Okay. Sean Porter.
Yes.
Really?
I would
you think Mean Machine? Okay. I'll get back to that in a second. Keith Thurman.
No, he won't be Thurman.
Danny Garcia.
Oh my God. No.
Yordenis Ugas.
Yes.
Mikey Garcia.
Yes.
Sergey Lipinets.
Yes.
Abdul Kakarov. Duran Ennis.
John's got proof to me that he can fight by the opposition. I'm going to take the Mean Machine. Yes.
Virgil Ortiz.
No.
Okay. So I want to go back to Sean Porter. Why do you think that Mean Machine will beat Sean Porter? That's a good question.
I just think Mean Machine got a lot of. I'm not saying Sean Porter that got the power. Sean Porter got the skill. He's got power. He's got movement. I just think that Mean Machine's got that.
Got that racer.
Got that more power. I think that power is better for him, and he's very patient.
You think he could outbox Sean Porter?
No.
Oh, I got. Yeah, this is the question.
Because he's a patient fighter. He wait like he did in this fight. He was patient to set up what he had to do.
This is the question I really need to ask you. The real question: could Mean Machine beat Kell Brook at 147?
Why you ask me that, man? Oh my God! You put him in the spot. Say that again.
Would Mean Machine beat Kell Brook?
I will take Brook. I will still take Brook. I will still take Brook.
T20 says that's not a reason to like the Kell Brook fight. No, I like the listen. I like the Kell Brook fight. I think it's a good fight for Crawford.
Listen,
I just don't want to see because I like.
I would like to see.
And whoever
put it this way,
whoever loses is just gonna get shit on.
How about this? How about Mean Machine fights Kell Brook? Well, it's not gonna happen because Crawford already signed a contract, and then they fight.
They haven't signed it yet. They're negotiating.
Yeah. So that would be the winner will fight Crawford. How about that? You know what I mean? That could be done too. Crawford, the thing with Special K is people undermining him because of that friggin' eye injury. But I think he still got it in him. I really do. Yeah,
I do too.
But Sean Porter and this guy right here, I just think Sean Porter's quick, skills, but this guy got power. And he's
Kell Brook beat Sean Porter a lot easier than what Spence did, and Spence beat them both. Spence didn't even fight Kell Brook. If you want the honest to God truth, Errol Spence was very fortunate. He didn't even fight Kell Brook. He fought the corpse of Kell Brook because he fought a skeleton of Kell Brook because Kell Brook had to come all the way down from 160 to 147 to fight Errol Spence, or otherwise the IBF would have stripped him because IBF, we know how the IBF is. They're strict. They don't play.
And I think
if I've been saying this, I'm almost anytime I talk about Kell Brook versus Terence Crawford, I'm just gonna say it across all these videos, so whoever comes across it can know that I said this.
Yeah.
If and when that fight happens between Terence Crawford and Kell Brook, mark my words, Terence Crawford is fighting a better version of Kell Brook because this is not a Kell Brook that just fought Triple G and is coming down from all the way down from 160 to 147 on a sharp weight cut. He hasn't been really hurt too badly in the last 3 years.
I think he's actually healed
in the boxing ring.
The time has helped him.
I think the time has helped him, and I think because of that, and you gotta understand, he's the underdog. He's fighting the pound for pound king, or arguably the pound for pound king of boxing.
Yeah,
he's gonna be up for it, and a motivated. The only question is, can he make the weight? And if he can, I think he's capable of going in there and giving care.
Well, that's the problem with Kell Brook after the weight drainage, the drain down. Like one of the things that me and BT were talking about was that Kell Brook's a big guy, so for him to come back down to 147, it could actually affect him big time. But that being said, if he dedicated himself and disciplined himself enough until fight night, so be it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you got. I call it the way I see it. There's not many people knocking on Crawford's door, besides roaches like Russell and
Kavaliauskas is trying to rob him. He's trying to break into his house.
Yeah. So when you have any fighters calling out Crawford, I know Crawford's big on money too. That's one of the big issues that they have with him.
I'll tell you this too. I think another reason the Kavaliauskas match can happen is because what does the war revolve around?
Money. And
it's going to cost less money for them to put on a Mean Machine rematch than it would for them to pay Kell Brook. Because Kell Brook is a premium name in the UK.
Yeah,
he's gonna sell pay-per-views. He's gonna bring viewership and eyeballs.
And let me tell you, that's why I'll be honest with you, BT. I would love to see even after the Crawford fight, a Mean Machine and a Special K fight. I would love to see that. You know what I'm saying? In the UK, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crawford. We talked about this, about the money thing. We're going back and forth how one fighter who sells, who doesn't sell, whatever. But I'm gonna tell you like this: Crawford demands money. I get it. He deserves it. He's one of my favorite fighters. But at some point, you got to fight these guys that are calling you out, even if they're how you call it, they're not the top. Don't got any 147 fighters that are pretty good at the fight them, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta take what you got for right now until the actual big fight start. And I'll be honest with you, Spence says he wants to come out here and he doesn't want to get no winky dinky fighter, so he picks Mike Garcia. Danny. Let's be honest. Fuck Danny Garcia. If you really want to fight the big dog, why don't you if you're not balls, get in the fucking ring because you believe in your skill so much, Spence, and fight Crawford in the winter fights back. They said
there was an article that came out today where Spence was talking about how him and Crawford talk all the time on FaceTime about the fight and how they're just waiting for the right amount of money to be available to make the fight happen. And I hate that kind of thing in boxing because you're gonna fuck around and do that and you're gonna wind up losing a fight. God forbid Danny Garcia land a no-look left hook from hell and put him out.
Listen, if you got guys like let's say PT, I'm Spence and you're Crawford. Hey, and I say, hey Crawford, man, we gotta make this fight. People want to see this fight. And your answer is, yeah, but let's wait. Let's build it up. Right now, with the COVID going on, all this bullshit going on, look at prime example. Look what's happening right now with Canelo in the zone. I'm talking about that's something different, but he doesn't want to take $70 million to fight. He wants to take $30 million. He initially was supposed to get paid.
Yeah.
So now you got Crawford and Spence doing the same thing. I mean, you're gonna make money regardless how you see it. What are you fucking guys waiting for? I mean, your networks will pay you the money that you guys want, what you guys demand.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. I mean, so you're not gonna lose out, and the fans are the ones that are the ones losing out because we don't know when this fight's gonna happen. But for you guys to sit there and paddle back and forth, are you guys really actually boxers or are you guys businessmen? This is where I say Tyson was right.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah, when back in the day when he said back in the day fighting was all about fucking fighting. It's not a business anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now boxing is the other way around.
They barely fight.
Yeah, but they barely fight is always a business. So are you guys like doing a cahoots? What do you call it?
Are they in cahoots with each other?
Yeah. Okay. We really want to fight.
Well, to be fair,
I mean, where's the
Errol
meaning?
said that. Terrence didn't say that.
Okay.
Errol said that.
Okay. So Errol's been making a lot of excuses for a lot of things. To be honest with you.
I mean, he's moved the goalposts from here all the way to France.
Yeah, and let me I'll tell you like this. Errol to me, like I said, I don't know. That's why I say if he fights Danny Garcia,
Great fighter. I like Errol Spence.
yeah, no,
fantastic
I respect
fighter.
him too. He went to the UK and did what he had to do, and this and that. So I'm not hating him, but let me tell you right now, you sit there and you're picking on Danny Garcia, and you just like, okay, I want to tune up with Danny Garcia, and you said before the accident that you wanted Danny Garcia. I don't understand why you were at the highest level before the accident.
Well, they were gonna fight. It's a big pay-per-view fight.
Right. It's a big pay-per-view
Barclays
fight.
Center. Danny Garcia.
Right.
The numbers there.
Right, but at the same token, if you got the Crawford fight, people really want to see. So the Crawford want to see. I don't care. I mean, both of you guys are not Danny Garcia. And you probably don't. The name is big in Barclay, Philly, whatever. But my point is, you guys decide what you really fucking want to do. If you're sitting here co-hosting this fight, you might not making as much money as you think you're gonna make because the COVID's still going on for who knows how long. So what you gonna do?
Let's see, man.
You're gonna cry?
All I know is this, man. I'm gonna say.
And I'm gonna say I'll let you answer this. I'm gonna say from Spencer's side, I'm fucking tired of you talking to you, your own promoter, that you call your own shot.
Well, he said in the article today that that he makes his decisions, but he has people that he consults with for business.
Yeah, you know who that is?
Al
Mr. Al Heyman. Middleton Helen got the long shot. Okay, I got the last call and everything. He's been a PBC fighter like every other PBC fighter. They don't have jack shit. You know why? Because Al Heyman makes the final shots, and you gotta respect him for that. Al Heyman, I'm talking about. But as far as
he's a true businessman,
right? So as far as Spence saying all this shit, he has no room to go about it. But at the same token, I feel that if the Bob father, I thought didn't BBC agree in a lot of fights and stuff recently or something that they were gonna put up good fights and whatever.
They talk
and stuff. But at the end of the day,
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
So like Kell Brook, right? Kell Brook, he pulled up on Spence about 2 years ago, and he said that he asked him as a man straight up to his face. He said, "Hey, can we fight again at 154?"
That's cool.
Kell Brook asked Spence that. It was 2 years ago at a fight,
Right.
and Errol was like,
yeah,
but it has to be in America, it has to be in Dallas because he beat Kell Brook." And Kell was like, "Oh, what about in Sheffield? I thought you loved Sheffield." And he was like, "Oh, well, you give me some money, I'll come out to Sheffield." So my thing is this, that right? If Kell Brook, let's just say, because we have to consider every possibility.
Right.
Kell Brook somehow, because a lot of you guys in the comments saying he's going to expose Crawford. So if you think he's good enough to expose him, then you have to think at least that he's good enough to
travel.
Yeah. To beat. If you think he's good enough to expose Terence, you gotta think he's good enough to beat Terence, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So if Kell Brook beats Terence Crawford, do you think he will fight Kell Brook? Do you think Errol Spence will give Kell Brook a rematch?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think, because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Kell Brook's gonna come out. I mean, Spence's gonna say, "Damn, we got this motherfucker was all fucked up." If he beats
Terence
Crawford the way he is right now, believe me, that's gonna wake up ears on the other side and say, "Do I really want to fight?"
And that actually proved my point even more, because I watched like I thought this back then, but I didn't want to say it because like I didn't want to take away from the winner Errol Spence. But I was watching the fight the other day, and it's been some years since then. I really believe this. Errol Spence did not fight Kell Brook.
Mm-hmm.
He fought the skeleton of Kell Brook. He fought the corpse of Kell Brook.
You want to open this up for discussion or no?
Nah, we'll be here all night.
Okay.
But
yeah. At the end of the day, it's like I said.
Who did Bud beat? Okay, I'm gonna tell you who Bud beat. Bud beat whoever the fuck they put in front of him. That's who he beat. He can't control guys that don't want to fight him. But he beat whoever they put in front of him. He knocked him down like some bowling pins, and he won undisputed. And he's been world champion in 3 weight classes. Okay, and it's
what has Spence done that? I mean, how has Spence out-achieved Crawford?
Oh, they're gonna say he's fought everybody, but you know what I'm gonna say?
Who's he fought?
First of all, when they say he's fought everybody, let's take into consideration when Terence Crawford turned pro at 135.
Right.
Errol Spence turned pro 147. He's been at 147 his entire career. So while Terence Crawford only has 3 fights or whatever was it, about 3 fights, because he fought Benavidez, Horn, Kavaliauskas.
Right.
I might be missing one, but he fought those 3 guys. 3 to 20 plus fights that Errol Spence has. Mm-hmm. So you mean to tell me that a guy who has 3 fights in the weight class has had as big of an impact, or is close to making as big of an impact in a weight class as a guy who turned pro there?
And let's be honest about it. Crawford has an undisputed title on his resume, no matter how long you look at it.
You could say 140 was weak. Listen, I don't care. I used to be one of those guys. I used to say I used to be one of those guys. Oh, Terence Crawford didn't beat nobody 140. Yeah. But guess what? As time has went on, as I've seen it, I'm like, yo. Mm-hmm. First of all, number one, it's expensive to become undisputed champion. That's straight. There's a lot of sanctioning fees you got to pay. But second of all, the only other fighter that's done it in the last 5 to 10 years has been who? Alexander Usyk. Mm-hmm. So he's an esteemed company.
So you can't take that away from him. For you to say, okay, he went to 147, he hasn't fought others, this and that, doesn't matter. Just may say what it says. He's been calling out everybody. I think the Sean Porter didn't get made because of the money issue or something. I don't know what happened there between Crawford. I understand Crawford. Crawford wanted more money. People always
want to bring up Sean Porter.
Yeah,
I'm getting sick of it. But when Porter had a belt, when Porter had a belt, the last person he was talking about was Terence Crawford. I know he's not like a guy. He's a throwback fighter. He'll fight anybody. But let's have it right. He'll fight anybody who's with PBC. Because when Crawford had a belt, I didn't hear no talk about no damn Terence Crawford vacation.
And so my point is with Crawford, give the respect to Crawford what he deserves. When you got this guy from Lithuania, from no disrespect, whatever. When you got the mean machine calling him out again, when you got Cal Book that everybody says he's washed up, his eyes messed up, listen to that. When he got enough balls to say, I'm really.
I'll be honest with you, right?
I can respect that.
Errol is fighting Danny Garcia, right? When I'm telling you, I'm not excited for it at all.
Yeah,
I'm happy that Errol's back, and I'm happy he's boxing.
All right.
But listen, boxing does need Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a great fighter. He's great for American boxing. He is one of American boxing's brightest stars. I will not discredit him or shit on him just because I like Terence Crawford a bit more than him as a fighter. But personally, if you want my honest opinion, I'd rather see Errol Spence fight Kell Brook in a rematch than Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, listen, this is what's gonna happen. Danny Garcia's gonna have like 2 good moments in that whole fight, and everybody say, "Man, Danny's such a tough fighter." He's gonna lose. He's gonna get paid nicely, and then roughly 10 to 14 months later, Danny Garcia will get another big fight, and he's gonna sing the same tune. He's like, "Yeah, if you watch Danny Garcia press interviews, he says the same shit every time. he says, in my last fight." This I'm serious. This is what he says.
No disrespect to Danny. I love it, Danny.
I'm being honest with you. Yeah. His last 2 or 3 big fights, he said the same shit. He says, I had, I made a lot of money in my career, but and I wasn't as hungry. But now, I understand this is my last chance. And look at all the guys I fought: Lucas Batiste, Amir Khan, Eric Morales, and
I'm gonna put it like this.
I'll
put it like this. Okay, at the end of the day, Spence, you need to hike up your skirt. Okay, if you really want to be a true champion, go ahead and knock on Crawford's door, and let's get the fight made right now. You don't know how long this COVID's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen, this and that. So as time goes on, you both are getting old.
Can I see what's gonna happen?
What?
One of the Razzies is gonna get knocked out before that fight gets made.
Yeah. And then what's going to be?
And then you're gonna, and then it's not going to have as much appeal.
No, of course not. So, what are you waiting for? And I don't want to hear from Spence. A lot of times when I hear from Spence,
listen.
I'm not
someone asked me,
okay.
would you rather see the Mean Machine rematch and can care less about Danny Garcia and Errol Spence? Yes, because I know that Danny Garcia is not going to win. Danny Garcia does not know how to listen. You can say he did good against Thurman, he did good against Porter, but guess what? Whether you like it or not, Danny Garcia does not know how to win big fights at 147. He's been at welterweight since 2017. He's had two big fights at 147. He lost both of them. He wasn't the Danny Garcia at 140. He is an average, solid top 10 welterweight. No better.
Don't tell that to your boy.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. Danny Garcia is no better than Mean Machine. He's at 147. He's no better than Mean Machine Kavaliauskas.
I'm just gonna say
he does. The reality is he doesn't know how to win big fights at 147.
Okay, the bottom line is
name me one fight he won in dominant fashion at 147.
It's like
you might say Peterson. Right? Peterson beat him. They get to them.
Let me ask you another question. Everybody wants a big fight with Pacquiao. The only fight I see that fight being made is you put the two best 147s straight up. Fuck all this in between fighters. Fuck all this shit. I'm gonna tell you like this: put fucking Spence against Crawford. The winner of that fight earns the right to fight Pacquiao. That's it.
And I'm gonna put it to you like this: if Errol Spence keeps fucking around being a businessman and this fight falls through, guess what? Whether you guys know it or not, Terence Crawford does have options. Now that Mean Machine rematch is looking more attractive. You got the Kell Brook fight, and then guess what? He's got the Let me make a point.
Okay.
He's got the ultimate. He's got the ultimate wild card in his back pocket that nobody's talking about. And you know the wild card is he can fight the winner of Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, undisputed
140?
at 147.
Wow. Well, let me ask you another question. I'm gonna throw a screw in there, whatever it's called. What happens? Let's turn this around now. What happens if it could possibly happen and Special K, like you were just saying,
beats Terence Crawford?
If they both keep sleeping, Spence and him waiting for this fight, and one of them gets knocked out, and Special K comes out and beats Crawford. What do you think now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna. I mean, we was talking, but there's all kinds of. You could throw all kinds of massive questions in there. I mean, I'm not gonna sleep on Special K. He's old, this and that. I think he's healed up. I think he's gonna give Crawford a run for his money.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wants to put you everybody. Like, hey, you know what?
I mean, listen. Terence Crawford. Listen, if Terence Crawford wants to be, if they want to play businessman, Terence Crawford can play businessman. He could fight Mean Machine, right? Let's say he beats Mean Machine, right? Or he can fight Kell Brook first, then he can fight Mean Machine, and then he can fight. Fuck it. He can fight Mean Machine. He can fight Kell Brook. He can fight fucking Ray Robinson if he wants to, and then fight the winner of Taylor versus Ramirez.
Oh, vice versa.
Those are not the best fights, but he, in comparison to what Spence have, with their options.
Yeah. So my point is like, if you're saying to me like, if you're literally telling me like, okay, Spence picks
Terence Crawford. Listen, Terence Crawford ain't losing no damn fight to no Terry Norris wannabe. He losing to Earl Spence. I'm saying that right now. That's why they won't fight, because everyone knows that Crawford ain't gonna lose to no damn Earl Spence. Anyone who knows what they're talking about.
I mean, and keep in mind, I don't care if people I think I'm crazy. You keep sleeping on these young bucks. Keep sleeping on Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, and then what if I know it's not likely because it's a cross promotion, but I'm just saying you can never rule it out.
Yeah.
What if Golden Wind Promotion says, you know what, we think our guy can beat Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford fights Virgil Ortiz and beats them? Then what?
Yeah, I mean, there's young guys coming up now. You can't sit back on the nest and wait for your golden age to come when somebody will take it from you. I mean, we've seen that a lot of times. We've seen that in other sports where the guy's talking about bring the Brinks. Come on, bring the Brinks.
Kell Brook is just talks. I mean, it might.
I don't think so.
It might. I mean, it's not finalized. So you're right. I've always maintained the philosophy that if a fight isn't finalized with a TV date, and if it doesn't have a fight poster or anything like that, then you're right. It is just talks at the moment. But
I'm just saying, like, literally.
One thing I know about boxing, from being involved in it, by knowing important people in boxing, is that fights are normally done in secrecy, and they're normally done about 3 weeks before we hear about them. When we hear about them, they've already been done for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
a month. So to be honest with you guys, Terence Crawford's next fight is probably already done. Maybe I'm not saying it's Kell Brook. It could be. It might not be Kell Brook. It could be freaking Ray Robinson for all we know.
We don't know who, but it's gonna be somebody. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, these fighters need to wake up and just decide, like, okay, especially Spence. Spence just came from an accident, drunk driving and everything. I mean, you need to have to show me.
He said he didn't want an easy fight, but he's fighting, like, no disrespect, but like he's fighting Danny Garcia, a guy who has been at welterweight for 3 years now. And listen, Danny Garcia does not know how to win at welterweight. He knew how to win at 140. He had a limited skill set. He won at 140, but he does not know how to win at 147.
Listen, if you want to be a true champion, and Spence, since you're saying that, okay, and somebody, one of the subscribers brought out to me, said, Pops, I understand what you're saying, that he should get a tune-up, but honestly, if Derek James didn't think he was in good shape to fight the top dog, or even to fight Danny Garcia, he wouldn't be talking about any other fight. So squash the shit with that Danny Garcia, and just get it done with Crawford. You're going to get paid either way. I think, honestly, the PBC, now Heyman got something to hide. Crawford's been calling him out for the longest time.
I don't think they got anything. I think he's just a shrewd businessman, and they want to keep all the business in-house, which I can't really criticize because Top Rank did it for years. Bob's done it. I mean, every promoter does it.
Right.
But I think with them, where it becomes a bigger problem is that the other promoters like Arum and Hearn, they don't quite have the long checkered history of blocking big fights that Al Heyman does. So that's why Al gets criticized for keeping his stuff in-house a bit more than Bob or a bit more than Eddie.
Yeah, but at some point, I mean, like I said, how long before even Spence got hurt? How long have we been waiting for this Crawford fight? How long has it been now? A couple of years now, right?
2 years. About 2
Keep
years.
waiting because the young dog's coming up, and you're gonna wish you did it. I'm telling you that right now. Keep waiting. You keep sitting there. Oh, yeah, I can call the shots. I can do whatever. Okay, just keep on waiting. I want to tell you, these young bucks that are coming up, 147, ain't no joke.
Showtime, Sean Porter. It's Aerosmith Dre. Hey everyone, this is Jesse Vargas. You're watching True School Sports. You're watching True School Sports. All right, and you're watching True School Sports. Stay tuned.